Hello and welcome to another crafting vlog. I think this must be number 8 actually. I've been doing various things. You get to see me doing a bit of spinning, a bit of slow stitching. I finished making the Japanese rice bag out of the baby grows, which you'll see as well. I've done all sorts actually last couple of weeks, so I thought I would share it with you. I hope you are all well, and do leave any comments or questions you have down below. I'd love to chat to you and answer any questions that you have, or any video suggestions that you might have as well, because I've only been doing sort of crafting vlogs. I've got a couple of ideas in mind. I keep writing down that I might do that is slightly different. I might go into a bit of junk journaling, and yeah, various other things. I might show you some of my artwork actually through my portfolio too. So if that interests you, do let me know in the comments below. And I hope you're all well, and it's lovely chatting to you again, and enjoy the video.
So I had all these baby grow scraps, 100% cotton. They're my grandson's, and as I mentioned in my previous video, I was making a Japanese rice bag with them, just as something for her to keep, really. So these are all the scraps that are left over. And then here is a Japanese rice bag that I've made. I'm really quite pleased with it actually. It was quite difficult to make because the cotton's quite thick, and it's not, when you're sort of creasing the cotton for the, for the sewing, the seam, that's the word I'm looking for. It normally stays if you've got a nice crisp cotton, but this wasn't, so it was a bit fiddly, but I've done it. I'll try and open it up. That might just get, oh, there we go. I can just about do it one-handed. There we are, that's the inside. It's got a little pocket here, and it's made out of 5 different baby grows. So I've used the lining. Each side is 1 baby grow, like that. And then for the cotton twine, I have used just 1 baby grow, the white one with the balloons on, and I've twisted that up, which has worked quite nicely. And then I've done 4 patches. There we go, for the sides. And I had to do a 4 patch for the bottom because I didn't have enough big parts to do just a plain patch. I wanted the stripy one on the bottom, but I didn't have enough. But yeah, I'm really quite pleased with that actually. I think it's, hopefully she'll like it. I'm going to try and give it to them tomorrow, but it's a little keepsake. There it is, done up. Nice. Happy with that. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I will show you the coverlet of comfort that I've been working along with K3N on cloth tails. We're currently obviously in August, so we're on the 8th piece, which I haven't got pinned up there, but you saw a bit of it last week in my previous video. So yeah, I'll try and zoom you in a bit. I'll jump out the way so you can see it, and then we'll try and get a bit nearer. Let's go. Okay, here it is. Ta-da! So there it is. That bit there was the beginning piece. So this piece here, we started in January. So that's actually the central piece. I think February's was, I think it was the wonky cabins. Then that was March. Then we had, April. Then we had May. Oh dear, June. Where's July's? No, I don't know now. Oh, no, I'm completely confused, but there you go, that's the idea. So we've basically done a piece each time. There we go. If you want more information on that, go to K3N Cloth Tails, and you can actually make your own one of these. I'm going to zoom you in so you can get a bit of a closer look at it. So I just turn the camera around. So there we go, starting from the very centre there. Where there is love, there is life. That's one of my favourite mottos. So that's on there. And we're going to go out a bit. And that was January's piece. I know that much because I remember starting with that, but I've lost track of all the other months now. Up here, we did some cloth weaving, as you can see. I'm just going to come over to the side. I really love watching the swallows at this time of year, flying around above me, catching all the bugs. So I included a swallow in camphor style, I think. And then also a blackbird, because I just love the blackbirds. We don't get many here, but I just love to hear them sing. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So that's the other bird that I included in that particular month. And over here, I had this piece. I did a applique course, and all I had done was applique these flowers on. That's literally all I had done to the whole piece. And they were just red flowers, and I'd had it for 20 years. And I was a bit like, oh, I just don't know what to do with it. And funnily enough, it fitted perfectly between these two. The two birds. So I thought, I know, I'll do some more work to it. So I've stitched over all the flowers to make them a bit more interesting. Added some hearts with little buttons and beads and some flowers there. And then a Suffolk puff in the middle. First one I've ever made of those, with a little flower. And that turned out really lovely. I was actually really pleased with that square. And the fact that it fitted in and I'd kept hold of it for that long was brilliant. Down here we have got friendship stars. So each one of those represents one of my friends. There we go. That was yeah, quite difficult, I found, to do, because again, it's something I've not done before, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we did the wonky cabins up here. Again, that's really quite intricate. Never done any kind of log cabin quilt work whatsoever. So that was quite fun as well. I'm glad it was wonky, because especially as learning to sew, it makes it a little bit easier. And then we got the English paper piecing, which I luckily had already made some of these out of some vintage fabrics. So I kind of cheated because I needed to get them out my little thing and sew them on. And then we did some background stitching and some words. And here it says, nature is not a place to visit, it is home. So I thought it was rather lovely, because I do like being out in nature. And then that, actually, these I bought from the charity shop, again, about 15, 20 years ago. Nice bit of cotton, linen, not sure. And they were actually on my sofa arms. So I'd kept them, and I thought, it'd be good to use them. And Catherine had used something very similar in hers. I thought, perfect. Now I can use those. So there we go. That is my coverlet of comfort that I'm working on at the moment, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So if you do like to sew, even if you can't sew and you want to have a go at sewing, start there. It's just great. It's addictive. So that is the coverlet of comfort. So I'm just working on the final part of August's coverlet of comfort, and I'm doing some chain stitch, just following Catherine along at K3N Cloth Tails. I'm doing some chain stitch along here, and I'm going to add a few more elements, and then this part will be going on the actual coverlet that you've just seen on the video. It's very therapeutic doing this chain stitch. I don't think I've ever really tried it before. Yeah, lovely. I do love slow stitching. Honestly, I do encourage you to get into it, even if you think you can't sew, because it's just it's so rewarding, and it's just so peaceful to just slowly take the stitches. There's no pressure. Stitch where you like, and you end up creating something really beautiful. There we go. I'll turn the camera around and give you a quick look at what I've done so far. You can just see the chain stitch that I was working on there. We're just going to go all the way to the end. Last time you saw it, I'd done the sari silk there with the beads and the little buds. Yeah, like a flower. And then we've done some, what sort of represents the DNA, because this is all about ancestral lines, which you've obviously got the lines running across it. And then we've done a lovely I love doing that DNA stitch. Oh, I really enjoyed that. And that's actually out of a sock yarn that I dyed for my dad to make him a pair of socks. Unfortunately, he never got to wear them, but he tried them on. So that means a lot to me by putting this blue into the actual stitching. I'm going to use some more blue in this particular piece as well, and probably later on in the actual coverlet of comfort. Yeah, and it goes all the way along. I've also couched on another bit of sari silk, and I do really love couching actually. It's something I'd like to get into more. Really enjoy that. And there we have it. So I'm going to continue on with that, and then I'm going to add it on to the very bottom of the coverlet of comfort you've just seen on the video. So again, in my previous video you saw that I was spinning up some yarn, and it's finally done. And there it is, nice and green. I think it's a mixture. I said it's merino, but I don't think it is because it's too rough. I know it's texel because I dyed some of the texel, mixed it with, I think, a bit of merino. So I suppose it is kind of a bit of merino too. That will be going into my crochet blanket. But yeah, that one's done. And now I'm going to start spinning this one. I'll show you. So here is what I'm going to spin next. So, oh, it's nice and soft. Oh, it's like to keep it like this for a blanket, I think. So that side's a bit darker, and over this side we have got some sparkle in it. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but yeah, I'm going to start spinning that one later this afternoon. So I've decided to do this into a chain ply, 3-ply on my spinning wheel, and I'm just going to make it this one bat into a continuous piece of roving. So to do that, I don't know if you can see, we split. It's a bit like when you make carrier bag yarn or t-shirt yarn actually. You've split it almost to the end there, but not quite. And remember, like a V shape, and then you go up this way and you keep going until you get to the other end, and then you've got that V shape there, and then we come back this way, and we keep doing this all along the bat. So now we have one continuous long piece of roving, which is obviously quite thick. So what I'm going to do is just pull it gently to pre-draft it into a ball. And there we go, one huge ball of roving. Some broke off, so I'm going to have another ball. But now we'll start to spin it. So I'm just oiling up my spinning wheel here. Oh. Ready to start spinning that bat. So I'm just breaking off shorter lengths of the roving, and then I'm giving it another draft just to pull the fibres apart before I start to spin it. So there's a bit there. Off we go. I have started some. And there we go. We're off. It's got so many different fibres in it because it was made from botany lap waste. So 1 minute it's spinning thin, then it's spinning, you know, a bit fatter. Maybe it's got a few lumps and bumps, but I don't really mind that at all. That is what the single is looking like so far. I'm really pleased with that, really pretty. I'm not sure if the camera will actually pick up the sparkles, but there are some in there. So now to leave it to rest overnight and then apply it tomorrow. Just thought I'd give you a close-up of the finished single on the bobbin. There we are. I love it when the summer nights suddenly draw in and it gets a bit darker and I can light my candles. I like to sit and spin by candlelight. It's just so relaxing. I was going to show you, but it was all a bit of a nightmare. So here's my room as it is with the lights and candles. Well, I was going to show you me spinning by candlelight because it's lovely and relaxing, but this was not relaxing. As you can see, this yarn is completely full of energy and totally twisted. It's certainly not a balanced yarn. I'm hoping that in a moment when I wash it, and wash it tomorrow, it won't, you know, level out a bit and it won't be so full of energy. It just got knotted up. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. We'll see what it's like when I wash it up tomorrow.
So I washed the yarn last night. Still a bit damp at the bottom, but a lot of that springy energy has fortunately disappeared. It's not a completely balanced yarn, so I'll try and get it in shot. I'm going to have to stand up because it does twist at the bottom there. For anyone that doesn't spin, what happens when you spin your yarn, if you overspin it, which means you put too much twist into the actual fibre, which is what I've done with this particular one, it means that you get a lot of that energy, which I showed you just a minute ago on the video. And yeah, it wasn't good to chain ply. Chain plying's not that easy anyway. It takes a lot of practice, I find. It took me ages to conquer chain plying, or Navajo plying, which I prefer to call it. I'll have to show you on a video, but I think I might have done one previously, and you sort of twist, rather than just twisting two bits together, you're using one bobbin and twisting it in a particular way that makes it into a three ply. So as in three strands twisted together. So yeah, I think the reason this went a bit wrong, I'm quite good at normally getting a pretty balanced yarn. And when I say balanced, you wouldn't get any twist at the bottom there, which as you can see, it is, well, slightly twisting. Probably because I can't really hold it up on camera. Yeah, so I think the reason being was because I used so many different fibres for this. I couldn't even tell you what was in it because it was all botany lap waste. So there could have been natural fibres, woolen fibres, all I'd say natural plant fibres, and also acrylic and plasticky bits. I'm not really sure what was in it. I just put them all together. I do love the colour though, if you can see. I still can't catch those sparkles on camera. But yeah, it turned out all right. And I would imagine this would be an Aran weight. So that'll go in my Aran pot. But there we go. That is that one done.
thank you to all those that commented on which sock yarn out of the purple or the turquoise to start making socks with. Well, it's coming up to autumn and I'm now ready to start making socks. I've decided I feel like doing a bit more fibre arts and including all that again. So I am actually going to go for the purple one because a couple of people said purple. Purple is my favourite colour. I did think turquoise just to stick out with my usual colours, but the more I've looked at it, the more I thought, lovely. I think I will be using this one. So again, I'm going to start this in the next few days. So what I'll probably do is show you a bit of that later on in the video as well. But yeah, we're going for purple. I can't wait to get started now. I've just got to cast on the stitches. I'm not the best knitter. And the first couple of rows in sock making, well, I can be repeating them over and over again because I find it a bit difficult to get going. But once I get going, as long as I don't drop any stitches, I'm absolutely fine. So I will show you later on where I've got to with that. Yarn, stitch counter, tiny wee needles, and my battered old knitting pattern. Now I'm going to try and cast on some stitches for these socks. Wish me luck. I did it. That's 56 stitches casted on to my needle. So I should do a few rounds. And if all goes to plan, I'll show you a bit more later on. So I'm just coming to the end of this row. A couple more stitches to do. Oh, it's got caught. Right, so, oh, dear. Right, got it. Click my stitch counter. So I finished the cuff, which is that part there, and I'm just starting to knit into the main body of the sock. I am loving the colours. I'm really pleased I started with this purple wool. It's really pretty. So yeah, there it is. I shall keep going and show you as I go further on with it. So it's now a couple of days later and I've managed to work a bit more on this sock. I've done about 11 or 12 rows there. So yeah, I love all the different shades of purple. It's coming along nicely. It will probably take me ages to knit this sock because I tend to work on them just as I like. And also I'm an extremely slow knitter. Another update on last week. I finally finished putting all the fabric onto this scroll. I've added a little button clasp for it to hold it together. There we go. Just go around. I'm going to open it up so you can see it anyway. But yeah, I've also started a little tiny bit of stitching on it. So we'll open it up and we will have a look. If I can get it open, that is. Okay, right, there we go. Oh dear. I've also added a bit of lace. I'm going to lay it down and we'll just unroll it so you can see if the camera will fit it all on, which I don't think it will, but we'll just keep going anyway. That's how much I've done. And I'm really pleased. I'm loving all the colours. I love the design. I'll probably have to just pan with the camera in a minute. It keeps going, doesn't it? It's like a long scarf. I think we're coming to the end now. Yeah, come to the end. So yeah, that's that there. And then I will show you. I have what I've done so far. We have, just go and get it in shot. There we go. I've just done a bit of tiny stitching there because that's all I've had time for. Got a little spiral and some running stitch. I'm doing a bit of seed stitch just in this part there. I've also done little tiny crosses to hold the lace on. And that's as far as I've got with that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that as well. And that will just be a project that I work on when I want to do a little bit of sewing. You know, I'm no hurry to fill it up. It's just prepared and ready for me to stitch on.
So that concludes this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and sending lots of love to you all, and thank you for watching. Bye.